Going to get into the Phoenix show in the next segment.
Oh yeah, just give me a little taste.
Yeah, let's get to Nathan in San Bernardino. Nathan, what can we do for you?
Hey guys, as soon as Rick's not here, I'll kind of take his place for a couple of things. I had Corona a few weeks ago now. See, Rick's probably got it. It's going around everywhere. So we're still dealing with the SB2 issue of basically I walk outside my front gate to check my mail and I'm a felon carrying because there's a school like 200 feet away from me, like across. There's a church for the school down the end of my street. I mean, the insanity of just what they're trying to do makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome to California. Nothing makes sense here.
Right?
Tell me about it. I mean, if I went to Alameda County, I cannot carry semi-jacketed hollow points because they don't want them. I've got to carry FMJ, which makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, again, this is California where you've got legislators bending over backwards and stomping over each other to try and come up with the next stupidest idea ever.
Right.
And their idiocy knows no bounds.
They could have 2 pennies and still make no sense, folks.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
I mean, you think about it, the U.S. government is the only thing in the world that could take a functioning whorehouse and put it into arrears because they did this.
How I mean,
you sell sex and booze, and they put it out of business. So anyway,
things that sell themselves.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. But I mean, the stuff they're trying to do in Sacramento County, where they're going to make it illegal to own a gun. A lot of legislators are going, hold a minute, I live there. It does not make sense. I don't want to be left without protection.
Oh, of course not. But see, that's what they want, because what they want is, and again, they know that there's criminals out there, and they know that the criminals are going to keep their firearms.
Absolutely.
What they want is they want the majority of us to be sheep. And, they want us to call the police when we have a problem. Just, shelter in place.
There you go.
Yeah, shelter in place. Screw you. I'm grabbing my whatever, and I'm going out front, and I'm going to settle whatever.
I'm going to defend my castle.
Yeah.
If your life is in danger.
I mean, the one thing I'll say about California is at least you have castle doctrine. When somebody comes onto my property, I'm well within my rights to defend myself with lethal force if it comes to it. And that's happened twice where there's been somebody tried to carjack somebody on my street, which never happens. I'm on a dead-end street, so it's a very quiet, nice area. Mm-hmm. Some guy tried to carjack somebody armed. I came charging out, and the dude ran. They heard my dogs coming with me, and the dude just ran, and they got him, but they couldn't find the gun, and they saw where he shot through his vest, to try and shoot the car. And it's like the insanity of let's let the criminals do whatever they want. Create a population where they can keep saying, well, look at this shooting that happened at this mall, nobody was carrying, so we need more gun control. No, I carry every day, everywhere. The only place I don't carry is the post office and federal buildings. I carry everywhere else.
Because you're a law-abiding citizen. That's what's going on here.
And that's the thing. I follow the laws. I carry jacketed hollow points, which I've carried for years. Even the sheriff's department said it's actually safer to carry those because if you carry FMJ and you shoot and it hits somebody in a meaty part and goes through, doesn't hit any bone.
Less penetration, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's actually safer, but you're looking for logic, and there is none, except as Jess suggests. They don't want you armed.
Yeah,
pencils down.
The only time I've ever seen a jacketed hollow point over penetrate is when it went through a windshield and it actually went through the person, through the seat, through the back seat, and ended up in the trunk.
Yeah,
and now it's just the physics of when you hit that windshield at the right angle, that'll over penetrate. But as long as you're shooting at a person, if say it's winter, they've got a jacket on, sweater and a t-shirt. By the time that hits the skin, it's starting to split apart, which is going to create a nice wound channel. Mm-hmm. But they just don't want anybody carrying. And part of the problem is if you guys saw the DeSantis Newsom debate, Newsom lost.
Oh, he never debated anything. Yeah, he never debated anything. He talked over him and changed the subject.
A single question.
No, not a single question.
I've never seen a politician answer, not answer.
Yeah.
Well, that is the emptiest suit I've seen in politics since the president.
Yeah. Nathan, we're coming up on a break. We got to go. Thanks for the call.
Good to hear from you, Nate.
Yeah, you're very welcome, guys.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Nate listens on Rumble. He watches us and listens on Rumble, so that's great
very
to hear
good,
from
very good. Okay, we've got Tom, Kathy, Marianne, Eric, all on hold. We'll get to you. We're going to a break.
And the number, and you want to call in right now, so it's going to be 866-870-5752. One more time, it's going to be 866-870-5752.
We're here for you. This is the Gunslingers right here on KRLA. And we're going to be right back.
Yes, we will.
I didn't know love could be.
This is Larry Marino on behalf of Move America Forward. Join us.
Hey, how come I haven't seen you to come look at these crazy shotguns I got?
Eric, Melissa, great to have you still with us again.
Yeah, glad you're feeling better.
I know. You're backing up and out. Hopefully Farmer Tice gets on. I got to see Farmer Tice this weekend.
Oh?
He's a real gem of a guy. He really is. Saw his son.
He's just got to lose that chip over California.
Yeah, and you know what?
Man, does he have it on for California.
Yeah, he does. And we talked about it. And
He ain't wrong.
No,
but some choose to stay and fight.
He ain't necessarily right either.
Yeah. But it was nice to see him, and he apologized. He says he loves you guys so much, and that it's really nothing. He just wants to share his distaste for California.
Hey, I forgive. I just never fucking forget.
But thanks all.
Did I say that out loud?
Ken, if you're watching, thanks for stopping by. And Kurt's probably watching. He said hi, so it was good. We'll talk about a little bit more coming up right now, but thank you guys for stopping by. I really liked it.
So, let's talk about the gun show.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, we'll do We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on hold.
We'll just do them in between there. Just a couple highlights here and there. We'll let them go. Because I love it that they're calling.
I do too. That's, Leon 101. That's what he told me to do.
Yeah.
He said, you talk a little bit, take a call, talk a little bit, take a call. After last week's show with Leon, he called me right after the show, and we talked for about an hour.
Pretty much gave you a master's thesis, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just fantastic. He gave me so many great ideas. I mean, he was only on for 43, 44 years. It's not like he doesn't know everything about radio.
This is a long one. I'm going to refill my water. I'll be right back. Anyone need to refill on anything?
I am good to go.
I'm good, thanks. You may have another tea, though. I'm liking that.
I had iced tea for lunch.
I never have tea, but on a cold night, maybe I should have tea now and again. Go home and have some soup for dinner. I'm tired of being cold, and it's the first weekend of December.
In the car. I should have worn
It's supposed to heat up, but again, it's because we're getting Santa Ana's. Fucking the answer.
People try to put us down.
Just because we get around.
About my generation.
Things they do look awful cold. Hope I die before I get old. It's too late for that.
Define old. I think it's a moving target.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I have to agree.
trippy little background we
Old
got
guys
going
are like
on.
80 and up.
Yeah, holy. Anyway, welcome back to Gunslingers right here on K.
RLA.
And as promised, we've got a whole bunch of people on the phone. We will get to you, I swear. Tom from Temecula will get you in a minute, but let's talk for real quick. I sent my crew out to the Phoenix Gun Show, and let's hear something about it.
Well, you sent me with some real good boys, and they were there.
Well, I sent you with some boys
You sent me with some
anyway.
boys, but you know what?
They came back men.
Frick and frat.
Man! But we got out there Thursday, set on up. Everyone was real nice. Gun people are polite people because they have to be. But we get there, we set up that first day Friday. Were the first come first servers, those real early birds, and they were gawking and loving, just drooling over the things we had because we brought out some really nice stuff.
We had a table full of L.C. Smith and Parker Brothers shotguns.
Well, and two of the things that really everyone loves seeing my Johnson, but
that goes without saying.
And the 90s,
it's my Johnson.
Yeah, but they didn't know that.
My Johnson went all the way to Phoenix. Does that tell you anything about my Johnson? Johnson, Jack?
Kids, it's a rifle, just so you know, World War II rifle. It can be gold-plated, and it does take both hands.
Hey,
Yeah.
and
there you go.
everyone was loving that. They loved the pretty much original rotary mag in there, and
Well, yeah, we sent, other than the three, we sent a 1941 Johnson. We sent about a 1940 Winchester 1897 actual real trench gun.
I got to talk about that 97. I was getting people's chops wet
Yeah.
with that one.
It's a beauty.
You said with the bayonet, yeah?
With the bayonet.
And glass, and original shield and handcuffs. We didn't
Yeah.
bring all that with us, but I was letting them know. I showed them check it out on the catalog online. We got the whole kit and caboodle there.
Yeah,
People
when the
loving
gun
it.
came back, it was issued to a police department, and it has the sticker of the police department still on the
Loveland.
stock. Yeah, and with it came because the man that gave it to us to sell for him put in his badge and his handcuffs with it.
Oh
So-
yeah, the whole kit and caboodle, and it's U.S. stamped. And
Yep.
you have all the
Yeah,
accoutrements.
flaming onion, the whole
Flamin'
9
Onion.
yards. Yep.
Oh.
And then, of course, the third one was an actual, real K98 German sniper rifle.
Those three were side by side by side.
and
Guns of
that
the great
sniper
conflict,
gun
man.
is unbelievable.
What kind of
cleanest.
glass? Is it like a Kales or?
I believe it is. Yeah, it's a fixed four, not an overly powerful.
And we did not bring it just in case because it is the original that came
Yeah,
with it.
correct.
And that's as expensive as most of the stuff I had in my pockets.
can be.
But people were asking about it. We told them that it did come with it, and they were astonished because as clean as that firearm looked, they couldn't believe that it was there.
Scope had to be in similar condition.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's got a great story. I'll get to that. Let's because he's been waiting a long
Oh, yeah,
time.
thank
He
you.
actually got hung up on, I think, and he called back. So let's get to Tom in Temecula. Tom, how you been?
Well, I've been real busy.
Okay.
And that's part
Me
of the
too.
reason for the call.
Oh,
Yeah. So I promised myself I'm not buying any more guns, but I've changed my mind.
good on you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know. I
My
just
name is
had
Tom, and I have a
shoulder surgery
problem.
I just had shoulder surgery on my right shoulder, and I'm right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to hunt with 12s or 20s anymore. I've got a lot of 28-gauge guns, but none of them are gas autos.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about getting a 28-gauge gas auto, which are damn scarce. I'd like a Remington 1100, but they're not producing those yet. The old ones are pushing $2,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which would be fine if they weren't $2,000.
Yep.
There's Berettas, which to me handle like a pig on the end of a shovel.
A little bit.
Ow!
I don't like them. The Mossbergs don't do anything for me. And the only other one I found is a TriStar. Are you aware of any other 28-gauge gas semis?
Franke.
Available right
Well,
now?
I think Franke makes or made one.
Franke is a recoil-operated gun.
You know
Everyone
what?
I've
Is
seen.
that, I
Yeah.
think you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So off the
Okay.
top of my head, no. 28 gauge is such a niche kind of cal. Not a lot of people really even understand or know what it is, and it's super popular among it's like the 38 Super of shotguns. You know, those that know, and those that don't are like, why would I do that? I got a 12 gauge.
It was right here.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, I've got 40 flats of 28-gauge hunting ammo.
Holy mackerel!
You better get busy. You better find one you like.
I have a lot of 28-gauge guns, but they're all over and unders and side-bys.
Yeah, same
And I don't know
here.
that I'm going to be able to shoot those when I recover from the surgery.
Understood. Well, you know, I maybe thinking about get a 410.
Super Black Eagle.
I've got nope, recoil.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah.
Just sold 2 Super Black Eagles.
Okay.
I've got a 410 1100 that I've had modified for 2.5-inch shells, and it's fine. But if I'm hunting doves around a bunch of yahoos with 12 gauges,
Oh, yeah.
the 410 is not going to do me much good.
Nope.
I got to have a little more reach than that.
Understood.
And the 28 will do fine. If I can find the right gun. I want a 28-inch barrel.
I
too,
wonder if there's a
which
way
is another trick.
you could maybe put like a Kickies or one of those. What's the
The shoulder saver.
or the
Browning
Really
reactor
thick,
pad.
soft.
yeah, the big thick one. Then there's that other one that's like a shock absorber. The guy's in Azusa, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. Joe Sasaki.
Shiozaki.
Yeah.
Shiozaki, yeah. I probably could. It makes the gun big and clunky and unwieldy.
Understood.
If
You'd
you're,
have to
if
get it
you're a
cut.
target shooter, they're fine.
Weatherby.
But I walk a lot when I'm hunting,
Okay.
and so I want a gun that's light and trim and all that.
Yeah.
And an 1100 with a 28-inch barrel would be great. I can't find one.
It's a bummer. We had one in an auction or two ago, and it didn't go for that much because it had gotten some rust to it. And we try and clean stuff up, but who cares? I mean, if it's just your hunting gun, so
yeah,
I'll have it blued. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I've done that too many times in the past.
Well, I tell you, if something comes in, I will let you know.
Well, Remington says on their website that the 1100 is available in your favorite gauges, but there's no pictures, and they only talk about 12s and 20s, which are everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about rem guns, whatever they're calling them now?
Yeah, not yet. Nothing yet. I think who bought them?
Vista, not Vista.
Yeah, I can't
No, they
remember.
got tranched out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I haven't heard much.
The guns and the ammo are two separate companies.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We have been able to get some 870s, but most of what we've been getting have been the short-barreled, in the house gun stuff. So we haven't really seen much in anything Remington other than that.
I was going to say Weatherby makes a 28 gauge gas gun. So there's one more. Boy, it's pretty thin.
What's
Pretty
the
thin
model?
pickings.
I will take a look
Maybe
at that.
an Orion? I don't know.
My first thought is Orion.
Okay. Well, there's an option, but good luck. And if I find anything, I will definitely let you know.
Do you guys have any experience with the TriStar guns?
I actually own a couple of them myself. Yeah, and they are all in 28 gauge.
Really?
Yeah,
And
over
what do you
unders.
think?
I love them. They shoot fantastic. I have not had one single issue. I bought all of mine from my old gunsmith, Jerry Johnson, who's out of San Dimas, and Jerry's in his 90s now, and he's just getting away from shooting because he's in his 90s.
These are Turkish manufactured, yes?
No, they're Italian.
Right.
Italian? Okay,
Yeah.
better still.
Yeah. So
The semi-autos are out of Turkey.
Are they? Okay. I've only gotten the over-under stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, if it's out of Turkey, I would try and shoot one before I bought one.
That's good.
Yeah. So,
Easier said than done.
I get that
Finding
too.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we come across one, I will let you know. All right, Tom.
All right. Appreciate it.
You
Thanks
bet.
a
Take care.
lot.
Oh shit!
Just come up.
That too. Anyway.
Yeah.
So more on the show.
Okay, so we were. Second day comes about, and the early birds were nice, and they were pretty busy, but buzzing is the word for Saturday. Saturday, as soon as they opened those gates, there were anyone passing by, me. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So no one got by without getting a pamphlet and learning about the catalog. But as soon as you draw them in, they're looking at the hammers, the exposed hammers on stuff, the engravings on the other.
Yeah.
They see the Johnson, they see the trench gun. There was something for everyone. And then I have to tell them, I have to back off and be like, hey, we don't just deal in just super high-end antiques or shotguns. I was like, we have it all. We have the modern and the milsurp. Show them the catalog. And I have to tell them, these 50 plus another 600, and then I got to give them the wink, the old, and I got a little bit of jewelry if you had to justify your win, wink, 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 and everyone gets it, and they were enjoying themselves. I had a great number of people that listened to the show, and thank them for coming on by. Ken and Kurt and Farmer Tice, if you're listening, thank you so much for the books. Really appreciate it, and I know you have your ideas about California, but you really love the show, and we appreciate it. But some really great eyes on the prize, let's say, and the booths out there. There was everything from, I saw some World War II flamethrowers.
Well, they have a whole building of just full auto stuff. Don't they?
Well, we were in that building.
Oh,
that's where we were. The big building was full of kind of your reproductions of stuff, a lot of ammo and stuff. The building we were in were the guys that were really running. They were the full auto stuff, and then you had Apex there, and
just fun to wander down those aisles, huh?
Every generation of firearm from every different nationality, all out there and in abundance. But we were the only ones with a few of those highlights, like that Johnson and that 97. People were like, where do you have these? Well, how do you have these? What's going on? And I have to let them know that we generally almost get one Johnson in every auction.
I think we've got one lined up for February.
And they are as easy to access as your smartphone, your laptop, your computer.
Hey, coming up at the top of the next power-packed hour.
Power-packed.
We're going to do our gun of the week, and this week, of course, because it got brought up on Facebook, we're going to talk about the 1911. Give us a call at
866-870-5752.
We've got a whole bunch of people on hold, so if you don't get through right away, just keep calling. We'll get back to you. We've only got about a minute. I was going to jump to somebody with an ammo question, but we will get, as soon as we get back from the break,
First on the line.
first thing we'll do. Reason I didn't get to go,
Yes.
because I was fully intending on going to the Phoenix show. I got a call from a nice lady, and we had to pick up a collection in. Well, it was told it would be 50 nice guns.
50 nice.
It was 94, and 2 of them are Holland & Holland double rifles in 4-bore.
Bradley, you listening to this?
4-bore in original boxes with all the accoutrements.
Ooh, buddy.
Can you say 6 figures apiece? Because I know I can. This is this is Gunslingers. I keep wanting to say the Gunslinger Hour. This is Gunslingers right here on
RLA.
And we're going to be right back. Hey, Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions in Azusa and the City of Orange. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in every American's right to
with the
protect
shoddy left-handed. It's good to learn for that unknown situation. That is an option. We should have been able to prompt a little bit for that. But thank you very much, Mr. Enigma.
Mr. Enigma.
Very nice to have you on. Love it, love it, love it. Bum, 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 bum.
94 guns. I could not believe it.
What up?
Wow, that if that is emblematic of the kind of stuff that was in it.
It is. Everything I pulled out, he had 3 giant safes, and everyone was like, everything that came out of the safes was just like, everybody say it again, GunslingerAuctions.com. Without you. Thank you very much, everybody. I just want to say, let's get the lyrics right, guys. We're going to sing Elvis. Got to do the lyrics. Of red on a green Christmas tree.
This isn't even our special Christmas episode.
No, we haven't even got there yet. I just thought I'd throw one in there. I heard it on the way in. What do you want from me?
I love that
Welcome
one.
back to Gunslingers right here on K.
RLA.
And as promised, let's get to Kathy in Orange, who has an ammo question. What can I do for you? And sorry for making you wait so long.
That's okay. Congratulations on your second hour.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I just want to know about buying ammunition. Like, can I buy anything I want, whether I have the gun or not, in
Yes.
the state of California? Mm-hmm. Okay. And would I have to show ID
Yep.
to do so?
Yep.
And it's going to have to be
And
the
is
real
there some
ID.
kind of registry? Is there a registry on that?
I don't know that there's necessarily a registry, but this is what they're doing. They're now doing and this has been going on for 2 years now. What's his hair boy up? Hair Newsom. Okay.
I like Hair Newsom. That's with 2 R's.
Yeah. He
Or nuisance?
Yeah, that too. He implemented this stupid ammo bill that does absolutely nothing, saves nobody.
Crime's
is
gone
not
down in California, hasn't it?
It's absolutely worthless, useless, and stupid with
Waste
a capital
more
stupid.
paper.
Okay, yeah, it's just another giant waste of paper, but he's implemented this thing where to come in, if you want to buy a box of 22s and you haven't bought a gun in the last, say, 5 years, you'll have to do a extended waiting period on buying a box of 22.
What? Okay, so I've got a $6 box of 22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 50 rounds, $6 box. I want to go shooting this weekend with the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
What is it going to cost me to undergo the background check?
To get that particular one cost about $20.
Are you ready for that?
$20 to buy a
And
$3-4
there's no
box of
guarantee
ammo.
you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Tax you on every corner, folks.
But if you've bought a gun, then it can knock it. In the last 5 years, it knocks it out pretty quick, and then it only costs you $1 for now.
So let me make sure I understand this.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to make sure I can get ammunition in the state where they're concerned about gun violence is to buy a gun.
Correct. Which again,
are you listening to this?
You've got the monkeys running the circus. So that's
Question then.
Go ahead.
Could I go to another state and get whatever I want without having to to do?
Per California law.
Nope. Can you? Yes. By law, no. You're not supposed to do that because you're not supposed to drive it over the border and all that so on. Because, they only have a border when it's convenient for them. Remember that.
Boy, that's a good line,
Yeah.
Jeff.
So, anyway.
Well, one other thing.
Go ahead.
Too, and driving around with ammunition, is there a proper way, just ammunition by itself? Does it have to be in a certain kind of container?
It doesn't have to be in a container, but I would, again, if you have the ability to put it in your trunk just to be
Keep
safe.
it out of sight.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm. You know how you stay out of trouble?
Okay.
My mama said, by staying out of trouble.
There you go.
Just keep it out of sight.
Okie doke. And I see
Thank you so much.
And I see you're in Orange. You got to come by and visit our shop.
I am going to.
Excellent.
So I count on it.
Looking forward to
All right,
it. We'll
take
see
care.
you. Thanks for hanging on. Take care now. And real quick, because she's been waiting, and as our friend Leon always said, we love it when the ladies call. Let's get to Marianne in Simi Valley. Marianne, what can we do for you?
Well, you keep talking about putting a firearm in the trunk and ammo in the trunk. What if you have an SUV that does not have a trunk?
Right. Well, it's
That's a
kind
good
of the same.
question.
Yeah, same as like a truck. What you'll have to do is again put it in a locked box and put it on your back seat.
Out of reach. That's the
out
big
of
thing you're
reach
looking
is the
for.
biggest thing. They want you in case of an emergency, and you absolutely have to use your firearm to protect yourself. They want you to not be able to.
Now,
Straight up,
I
that's it.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie doke.
Yeah, ammo and firearm
All right,
furthest
I
away from each other.
Put it in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then the ammo would go in a separate area.
Well, if you don't have a separate area,
Separate box at least.
yeah, put it in a different box or something, and try and keep it in like a lockable type of thing, and keep it again on your back seat, and just hope that A, you don't get pulled over, and B, if you do, you get a police officer that understands the impossibilities of California firearm law. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call. Take care. Okay, and that opens up a couple lines at
866-870-5752.
one more time.
866-870-5752. Call now.
Okay, we'll get to Eric in just a sec. But anything else at the gun show, or should I keep going on why I didn't go?
Well, I like where you're going. I can always sprinkle a little bit here and there, like just saying the atmosphere there. Like I told you on that Saturday was the general public. So we had every type of person there. We had moms, dads, children, every race, creed, and color. Everyone interested in firearms.
Welcome to the free state of Arizona.
How well did they all get along?
Oh, it was a beautiful thing. People, there was the bumping in and excuse me ratio was super high because we were shoulder to shoulder and you couldn't get past anyone, but everyone has a polite excuse me, pardon me, oh, thank you very much, all together in
One of my favorite gun show stories. I'm walking around. Remember the old Pomona show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Pomona gun show was 7 buildings. You couldn't get through it in the 3 days that you had. There was so many vendors. I'm walking along and I'm looking because I had seen something. And rookie mistake number 1: you see something at that big of a gun show, just get it now.
Do it now.
Because you
not
won't
turn around.
remember where it's at. And if you finally get back to where it was at, it's going to be sold.
Absolutely.
So just get it and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking frantically for something. I don't remember anymore what I was looking for. But I'm walking along and I'm walking really fast, as I tend to do. And boom, I walk right into somebody and I turned to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and had to go all the way up because I just walked into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Now I'm really sorry.
Bumped into a tree.
Pretty much, yeah. So, and yeah, he's really tall.
But I have a question for you, because the mantra of the left is that guns kill people. People don't kill people. So how many people died at this event over the weekend? How many thousands?
I want to say more people lived that day. So 0 deaths, and everyone had a great time in living.
Or as Dean Werber would say, 0.0. Let's get to Eric in Santa Ana. Eric, what can we do for you?
Good evening, Gunslingers.
Good evening.
Thanks for the extra hour. It's very entertaining.
Thank you.
And I recently got a California compliant SIG P365.
Nice.
And the sights that came on it are good, but they're not the tall co-witnessing sights.
Right.
Because I put a Holosun green dot on it, and the sights are barely visible, the iron sights, that is.
Right.
Do you know of any aftermarket sights that are tall enough to co-witness?
You know, the new 365 XL is coming with those sights. My first call, if I were you, would be straight to Sig Sauer and see if you can't get
the tall
those.
sights.
Yeah, and because if I recall, they're dovetailed in.
They are
right?
dovetailed in. It's an easy fit.
Yeah, so you should be able to drive out the one and drive in the new.
Right, and I was advised to get a different color, like an orange, as opposed to the green sight, so you can tell the difference between the two.
Good advice, sure.
Good option.
And also, the trigger that comes with the gun is curved, and I see that Sig has come out with a flat trigger with a screw that takes up the crete.
Correct.
And it's supposed to reduce pound trigger pull. And is either of those going to negate the CCW? Like an alteration it's not original has come from the factory.
You know, I'm not an expert on this particular thing, but here's what I would tell you. As long as your trigger pull stays within a line, the only caveat to that is, again, if something happens and you end up having to use that firearm in a defensive position, what may happen is the other person's lawyer, because you're likely going to see court, that other person's lawyer may try to pin the fact that you upgraded that as a killing machine, and that's where you have to be very careful.
And LA's the kind of place where you'd have gas gun might do that.
Yeah, so, well, he's in Santa Ana, so hopefully he would deal with somebody in Orange County.
I have some names real quick. XS makes tall sights.
Okay.
Angry Bear makes tall sights. Night Vision makes tall sights. And Good News Trigicon all make tall sights.
I love Trigicon.
I was looking at all of them right now.
Trigicons are like $190.
Well, you didn't say you wanted inexpensive ones.
Well,
the other thing is, have you any experience on the new Stoeger Defender black side-by-side shotgun with the upper and lower Picatinny rails?
Oh, that's the
cowboy,
the one we know and love.
Cowboy Tactical. Yeah, I haven't had one in my hands yet, but I can tell you, for many years I was a Stoeger distributor. I have sold hundreds of their side-by-sides. I've owned, I can't even tell you how many, because again, the side-by-side shotgun is the most used shotgun now in cowboy action shooting.
De facto, it's the default gun.
Yeah, and so they're fantastic firearms. It's a great company.
It's stiff out of the box.
Yeah, they're a little stiff, coming right out of the box, as Mark said. But if you get it to a competent gunsmith, he can smooth it up for you and make it very pleasurable to shoot. And Stoeger now has a U.S. conglomerate in Florida, so if anything goes wrong with your gun, you can send it straight to him. Yeah, we had one where the guy he had a bad round and stuck the wad in the barrel, and then the second shot went off and he bulged the barrel. Yeah, and you know what? They sent him a new. Well, we sent him the whole gun. They fit a new barrel to it and sent it back to him at no charge.
That's a guarantee.
So yeah, he was quite pleased with that. So
there's an endorsement.
Yeah, so I would say absolutely, it's a good gun. Go for it if that's what you want.
And if you're talking about fight stopping,
a friend of mine bought it, and he's an ex-police officer, and he stuck a light on the bottom and a red dot on top.
There you go.
He uses it just because it's a single trigger. It's a home defense weapon.
Yeah. The only things, first off, if you're not really astute at loading that sucker quickly,
that's a qualifier.
Yeah, because you only have 2 shots. Now, if you've got a 5-shot pump or an 8-shot pump, you've got a lot more options.
Keep going to the well.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. So, I have to shoot you shoot a 97. So, I see lots of people, and these are people that are only under the stress of a buzzer as opposed to somebody coming at them.
They are throwing shells all over town.
So that would be the only drawback to that particular gun, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a legit concern. You got 2 up.
and then whatever happens next.
Yeah.
The threat matrix posed by those two big barrels coming at you would have to look like the underpass of a freeway.
Yeah.
But you do only have two trigger
Granted,
pulls.
it doesn't have the rack of the slide of
Exactly,
of a,
and that sound means an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke.
but it. All right, thank you very much, and thanks for the show.
Hey, thank you,
Thank you.
and thanks for the call. Take care, Eric. Okay, we're coming up on a hard break. We're going to get back with our friend Mike from El Segundo as soon as we get
Welcome
back
back,
from
Mike.
the break. Yeah, because he's got lots more from last week. I'm sure he didn't get to.
I'm going to drop the number one more time for
Go
you
ahead.
right now so you can call in for the next hour. 866-870-5752. One more time. 866-870-5752.
And I see we've got Bill from LA who's going to want to talk about Gun of the Week.
Hey.
And our friend Farmer from Phoenix has called in. We'll get to you, Farmer, in a minute. This is
Wait, remember, we're going to be talking about the 1911.
That's right. In the next segment, this is Gunslingers right here on
RLA.
And we'll be right back.
Yes, we will.
Clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
Hey Jan, your Chips for Kids toy drive seemed like so much fun last year. I'm happy I get to join in on the fun this.
Somebody's watching 5 FB. Sorry. It's back up there now.
All right, I'm going to grab a water. Anybody need anything? I'm going to grab a tea.
Take a look at this before you go. These ones are on hold, and these ones are calling in.
Nice. Kev, I saw you sneaking up behind me. It's working, man. Everything's running.
We had a little glitch here and a little glitch there, but that's clear.
Here a glitch, there a glitch.
Everywhere a glitch.
Everywhere a glitch, bitch. Yeah.
So
The fact that
just
YouTube
wanna-
is running effortlessly.
Well, YouTube was the first glitch.
It was the first one to go down, but it went up
down,
fast.
And I was like, is there a limit on the account? But I don't know. So we're up and running across all three right now again. Just we've been bouncing, but that's why I'm here.
It's the Wild West out there.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah, no.
Great job.
So I'm gonna go visit the little producer's room. I'll be back.
Smile, though your heart is breaking. Smile, even though it's aching. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Poor old Tony Bennett.
Gosh.
If you know who wrote that song?
Smile is a Charlie Chaplin song.
Yeah, very good. I am impressed with you.
Thank you.
If you smile through your fear and sorrow,
That is a beautiful song.
smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you.
It was fun. Farmer Tyson and I were talking, and he's mentioning one of the books, and he's got a character in there, and she's a roller derby person, and all that. And Jim Croce comes in my head, and I start singing Roller Derby Queen, and he jumps in right there. Words like built like a refrigerator with a head. Oh gosh, it was a good feeling.
Well, we got 6 people holding.
RJ shouting out, "Hey man, you got a show! Look, your whole screen's lit."
That's the game plan.
Yeah, go figure.
Too bad you don't have the radio show at a Hunter's Lodge fireside chat like Ernest Hemingway with a bourbon and a cigar. That sounds delightful.
Who the hell is that? I love it.
Eric Peterson.
Got to work on that decor, man. I can see some logs here, a little fireplace.
Right.
A couple of heads on the wall. Maybe a nice big bison head. I know you got one. Or had one.
Got two, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And both of them at the Azusa store now. 2 moose.
And a moose.
Yeah.
That
I love
occupies
the
a certain
moose.
amount of wall space, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
A moose?
Yeah. Luckily, we have, like the old store in Glendora, not the one we just left, but the old store, we have really tall walls.
I remember that.
Fit all that stuff on there.
And just in case anyone's thinking, all of them died of natural causes. At least the buffalo did.
The buffalo that I got from Chase's Taxidermy died of natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
The moose was run over by a
semi
truck.
Yeah, that one.
Which ruined the semi truck, by the way.
I was going to say eggs.
Silliest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, I always tell people I committed suicide, and the baboon was a heavy smoker. So,
well, the baboon I think was somebody's mother-in-law, and it was it was real self-defense. What can I say?
Real donation to us.
Lesson to us all.
Yeah.
Bourbon and cigar. That could also be Michael Knowles. Mr. Enigma on the YouTube. I like you that you're so active, Mr. Enigma. And just a reminder, 1911s. Get your stories, your questions, your loves, and
brand, your history.
Get him all in, baby.
Nothing but net. Did you know that was my offhand?
You should have given it to me. I'd have shoved it in the fucking.
Man, we're about to put on a team for the WNBA. We'll be in there anytime.
KRLA tried to take away my ability to do the pick the music for this.
What is talking about can be found here. Don't go anywhere. You just might miss it. We are AM 870. The Answer.
Here we go.
See, I got to have a fantasy. Every night I have a stranger's dream. Impromptu by the way, might have been left you by my foot.
I don't remember the words no more.
What happened?
Hey, you know what? Let's just interrupt poor old Joe. Welcome back to Gunslingers right here on
KRLA.
And as promised, okay, first off, this is a segment where we do Gun of the Week, which is going to be 1911.
1911,
so questions
folks.
for you. 1911. Should it only be 45? Should it be in 9mm too? 38? What's your favorite? My particular...
9mm?
No. my particular is a 1911 in 9mm. I've got a bunch of them. Man, they're just so nice to shoot. Low recoil, even less expensive to shoot. They get 1,000 reasons, but he's been waiting a long time. Let's get to our friend Mike and Elsa Gundam. Mike, sorry to make you wait so long, but it's been a crazy night. What can we do for you?
Thank you. It's okay. It's worth it. For your show, for you guys, it's worth it.
Thanks so much.
Anyway, I actually like to talk about a question I have about the changes in the laws for getting a CCW in California, and then if there's time, I'd like to talk about sovereign immunity laws. I just want to mention some information for your audience about why they really definitely should get a CCW related to that. And then third, you're talking about one of my favorite guns, 45 ACP. John Browning's genius went into that.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so let's get with it. So question. I know Rick Travis is up there, so I hope you have the same level of details he would have. But for the changes in the CCW law and why people should get their application paperwork in before the end of this year, and they have to have one or more guns ready to put on that application, can you explain what the changes are in the law or the rules with regards to amount of training, pricing, and does it also affect, where you can carry the gun? Are you affected in how much you can exercise your Second Amendment rights based on whether you get your paperwork in before the end of this year or next year or later?
Well, if you get it in before the end of the year, you will be grandfathered and you will have the same rights that you have now. As far as the training and the cost, I don't recall him saying anything about those being too much different. The big difference is where you're going to be able to carry, which is going to be almost nowhere.
Firemen's in sensitive locations, they say.
And sensitive locations are going to be anywhere within 5,000 miles of a church or 10,000 miles of a school. And I'm not making this up.
They're trying to backdoor.
Yeah, they're trying to literally just get rid of them, and why, nobody knows. It's almost never that the guy with the CCW is at fault. It does happen now and again, but
statistically, it's
the statistics are so
and
low.
There are 2 million defensive uses a year?
Yeah. Well, they say
it's 2.5, about 2.5 to 2.6 defensive gun uses per year, not counting police, just by ordinary civilians. According
Keep us
to
honest, thank Mike.
Research by Florida State University professor Gary Kleck. And that's more than 5 times the number of times firearms are misused in all crimes, suicides, and accidents combined.
Right.
So all these radical Marxist Democrats, politicians, and organizations that are saying that, we have to make gun owners pay higher taxes, special taxes, because of the cost of deaths and injuries, medical expenses due to guns. Well, actually, we're saving a huge amount of those costs. We're not increasing, we're radically decreasing those costs. So they're just flat out lying, and they use our tax money to fund fraudulent fake science research at UCLA, at Harvard University, University of Michigan, a whole bunch of big name universities to just flat out produce lying false science data and research reports published in supposedly prestigious journals to claim that we're costing so much that we need to be taxed and we need to have our guns taken away from us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just outrageous. And by the way, the number one reason the Democrats want gun control is because, as the Founding Fathers want us to be, have a widely armed citizenry as both a deterrent and a last resort protection against tyrannical government. The Democrats realize that a widely armed populace is the single biggest obstacle to their goal and agenda to have a totalitarian Marxist dictatorship, and they're on track for that. You just follow the
where we come from,
where we're going.
The people are
incredible.
The militia.
Oh, Mike.
Okay, now I want to mention sovereign immunity. Okay, most people do not know this. This is something I researched actually decades ago. And then I also learned more about it when I was actually on the city council of El Segundo when I ran and got elected, and the city attorney briefed us on that. And it turns out that in California, there's a bunch of statutes on the books known as sovereign immunity laws. Also, things might be known under the Tort Claims Act. And California, you want to take notes on this, actually, same with the audience. California Government Code Section 845, failure to provide police protection. I'll read this one long sentence. Neither a public entity nor a public employee is liable for failure to establish a police department or otherwise provide police protection service, or if police protection service is provided, for failure to provide sufficient police protection service. Again, that's California Government Code Section 845. And I'm sure you've heard sort of generically that the police and the government are not liable
Cutting
for
to the chase,
protecting
that's
you
what that
or any
means.
individual.
Yep.
So what that means is you're on your own.
You're totally on your own. And as we all know, the very accurate saying, when seconds count in a matter of, life or death situation, the police are only minutes to hours away. So, and then there's following government code sections after 845, like 846, gives the same immunity to government and government employees and officials for failure to make an arrest or retain an arrested person in custody. 845.2, it gives immunity for failure to provide prison, any or adequate prison, jail, or correctional facilities. 845.8 gives sovereign immunity for regarding parole or release of a prisoner or escape of prisoners for any injuries or death caused by that decision. And it goes on and on. So you should start with Government Code Section 845 and then read the sections below that. It's all there in black and white. So if someone says, oh, what you're saying isn't true, that the police are supposed to protect you, you say there's no liability there. There's no consequences if they don't protect you. And in a lot of cities like Los Angeles, they oftentimes will not protect you.
Mike, let's back up real quick to this Florida professor. Did he mention how many times in the year that people used a gun to protect themselves that didn't report it?
His study goes in a lot of detail, and he obviously most people will not report it if you just brandish the firearm and say and you scare the criminal away, the attacker away. You break off the attack, scare them away, or if you fire a shot and miss, if there's no blood, no body, then most people, I suspect, probably will not report that because you're worried you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
He does go into details. He has a whole book on the subject titled Point Blank, I think it's titled, Professor Gary Kleck, and he did a survey, a telephone survey. I'm sorry, telephone. He hired a company, Peter Hart Research Associates, that was the official polling organization of the Democrat Party, of very left-wing Democrat politicians, including Ted Kennedy, for example. And he had them do a survey, and they found, and he set the parameters up. He set up the methodology and everything, and he came up with 2.6, I think it was 2.5 or 2.6 million defensive gun uses per year by ordinary civilians. And it turned out he decided to do that based on a previous survey that was done that found 1 million defensive gun uses. So he took that survey, improved and tightened it up. It turns out there's probably like 10 or 12 additional studies that have confirmed his results. The news media will never talk about this. The Democrats will never talk about this. But it turns out that law-abiding gun owners provide a huge service because they actually reduce violent crime through multiple mechanisms that Gary Kleck goes into in his studies, research. So, for example, there's a specific deterrent effect where criminals avoid victimizing someone they believe may be armed, but there's also a general deterrent effect where criminals commit fewer crimes in areas that are known to have higher firearm ownership because they're worried about encountering someone who's armed.
This is why they don't knock over police stations.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And it turns out that Gary Kleck's research determined that having armed citizens in America provides at least as great, if not greater, a deterrent and a crime control result or force as the entire criminal justice system, including the police, the courts, and the prisons all combined. So it's a huge, huge study, very, very important. The other thing that they never talk about is a lot of these murders are gangbangers shooting each other and killing each other. When you look at the total number of people murdered each year, I hate to say it, but some of those murders actually probably reduce the overall crime rate against innocent victims.
Yeah.
Because it's criminals knocking off criminals. There's a study.
By the way, those are the children that they're talking about.
The FBI study.
Statistics.
Yeah, the FBI study took children up to the age of 28
or higher. They totally lie about that, and they're gangbangers. Mostly. It turns out in Chicago, there's a murder report. You can do an internet search for it. You should be able to find it. Chicago Murder Report or Murder Analysis. And it turns out that half of the murders in a particular year that they studied, that the Chicago Police Department studied, half the murders were gang-related. Yeah. So you're talking about, now that could be gangbangers shooting innocent people, but a lot of it's gangbangers shooting other gangbangers.
Mike, we got 30 seconds. Hang on. We got 30 seconds to go. As always, appreciate your phone calls. I would hate to debate this guy.
Oh, man. He's a runner.
Call us back next week, and we'll talk to you then some more, okay?
Yeah, I want to talk about the 45 also. If you could mention about a good dual column 45 is per ordinance still in production.
They are not.
Tell us what you know about that.
I'll do that when we come back in the next day. All right.
There are some good ones, though.
Okay. Oh, I hung up on him. I got a quick trigger finger. What do you want from me? What song is this? I can't even hear it. Oh, there we go.
Cats and Cradle.
See, sad song going out, happy song coming in. That's subliminal messaging.
Put the saddest one on.
Anyway, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
KRLA.
And I promise we're going to get to the more phone calls and to our subject, which is
1911, baby.
You're listening to Gunslingers, and we'll be right back.
Little boy doing the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then.
Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions again. If you want to buy
They're doubling it up. That's 16 hours now, and I believe you could have got it received it when you were 18 previously. You must be 21 now. You can't
16
carry
hours of training.
You can't carry in any type of transport hub like bus stations, train depots, anywhere like that. And then they've moved from just public or private schools to the adjacent buildings, parking lots, streets.
That's what Jeff was talking about.
Yes, you are bound to those provisions now, and it must be in your car, locked up as if you were traveling with
Imagine
it.
going down to Union Station. Just think of that area, but no personal defense there.
No.
He's going to carry a giant sickle on the end of his stick.
Pointed stick. That's GunslingerAuctions.com.
Oh, yeah.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. So you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? It's always say.
Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers, right here on
KRLA. Sorry, the song's still in my head.
Jimmy's still singing.
He's getting ready to do the chorus.
I know.
Oh, yeah. I can't get away from it.
Anyway, as promised, we're going to talk about the 1911.
Good topic.
Who doesn't love
In fact, we have a phone call from Bill in Los Angeles who's been waiting for 33 minutes. I'm so sorry.
About the
Gun of the Week. Bill, what can we do for you?
Well, I just wanted to mention that you have two differences on the 1911s that are kind of interesting little is the original 1911 and the 1911 A1 and several of the modifications that were done to the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the long trigger on the original pistol, and then you have the short triggers on the 1911 A1s. Because that's what I shot in the service there as a tank crewman and shot expert with the pistol. So
yep.
Those sights
Mark knows me.
With those sights.
He said.
Yes, with those sights, I shot expert.
Good job, man. Because we were all 18 and had great eyesight, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
all right, let's do a tough. Let's ask you a tough one.
That's a fact there. And I remember when they had me shooting on the at Fort Knox there against the range captain, and I just barely lost to him, and it was always interesting because I took to that pistol like duck to water. But the thing about it is that. I had many experiences with that pistol, and then I bought my own when I went into permanent party there in Germany, and I had bought a brand new Series 70 1911. Now, the first thing I did is I took that short trigger off and put the match trigger that was in the armorer's toolbox there at the unit that I was sent for permanent party there.
Mm-hmm.
Like a flat mainspring housing or an arched one?
What's that?
Flat mainspring housing or arched?
I always liked the arched mainspring housing. So it's always, you've seen how my pistols are, Mark.
Well, he can't remember everything. Okay.
Oh, he can. He's seen enough of them as I've brought him into where he works down there from time to time.
Okay. Well, listen. What do you think of the 1911 and 9mm? Ooh.
I prefer a 45 automatic, but
understood. But what do
the
you
other
think
one
of the
I would
9mm?
probably go for if it didn't have that damn rimmed case would be the 38 Super.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because I like something that can push a 1,400 feet per second if I can help it.
Smoking.
Fair enough.
That's
of course the 45 ACP doesn't quite go that fast.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, it doesn't. But I can concoct some loads. 8.5 grains of unique will push a goddamn 185 grain bullet to almost 1,000 feet per second. So
that would hurt.
Oh,
all right. Okay, Bill. Thanks for the call and thanks for hanging on so long.
Especially with
okay. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, and another. Let's clear up some of the phone calls and then we'll give the number again. Let's get to Linda in Burbank, who's been waiting a long time. How are you, Linda?
Hi. Considering how Newsom did on the debate,
If you want to call that a debate, but go ahead.
do you think there would be enough people to recall him this time and replace him with the pro-gun governor?
No. This is California, and most people are scared to death of things that they don't understand, and most people don't understand firearms.
Plus, the fix is in this one. He's one. He's one of the anointed ones. He's one of the four families.
He's Nancy Pelosi's
There you go.
nephew, for crying out loud. He's not going
Everybody's
nowhere.
in bed together.
Twice already, and for some reason, those ballots and all those signatures go to nothing, and it's obvious.
Yeah, until the state of California public grows a backbone and we start fighting back, this is what we're going to have to deal with. Yep. That's all there is to it. Okay?
Yeah.
I was hoping it would.
Me too. I'd love to see him. Tarred and feathered would not be a bad look for him.
But he's already one of those.
And, everybody that's making fun, everybody that's making fun of California, you guys understand. This is the front runner for the presidential nomination for the D Party, right?
Yeah, and he's talking about his latest thing is he wants to have California-style gun laws across the United States.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what he's going to run on.
Talk about this head of the snake. This is where it's at.
Yeah. And
I had trouble.
He is definitely a snakehead. If I ever saw one.
Yeah, he is the snake.
Yeah.
No grass.
Anyway, go ahead.
Can I call him what one of your previous callers called him? I call him nuisance also.
Yeah. Well, he's much worse than a nuisance. He is an absolute nightmare. He's a truly evil human being. And that's all there is to it. And you could see it in his face when he pretended to debate. He didn't debate anything. He talked
talking
over
points.
Yeah, he talked over. He changed the subject. He tried to make it all about him. He didn't answer anything.
What do you campaign on if you're the governor of California? The fact that so many people have fled the state because of your inane policies that we've actually lost a congressman.
His own in-laws fled California and went to Florida. So go figure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Linda. Thanks for the call as always. Take care now. Okay, let's get to our friend. We're going to try and clean these up, and then we're going to give out the number again. Let's get to our friend Farmer in Phoenix. Farmer, how are you?
Farmer Tice, not just Farmer.
Well, Farmer Tice.
I see he's going to start with me already. Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Tice, Farmer Tice, however the heck you want to go. What can we do for you?
How's it going, Farmer Tice?
Anyway, I was at the gun show in Phoenix, and I met Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did,
and
sir.
I gotta
Thank you
say
again.
that never met, in all my 68 years, I've never met anybody as nice, as pleasant as Jimmy. I mean it sincerely.
Jimmy the Gent, man.
Yeah, why do you think he's here?
Thank you, Farmer Tice. I appreciate that.
You realize
another thing is, we talk guns, and he's got a mind like a steel trap. He knows what he's talking about.
Again, why do you think he's here?
He's right on target on everything.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that so much.
I was very enthusiastic when I got there. I had to wait I took my 10-year-old son Harmon with me, and he got to meet Jimmy.
Hey, Harmon.
And he was very impressed, too.
Intelligent boy, that one.
I could not believe people at that gun show. There must have been 10,000.
Yep.
It was incredible. Mm-hmm. Very enthusiastic. I met people from all over the country. I talked to a man came all the way from Vermont.
Mm-hmm. It's a big show.
Oh, yeah.
It felt good. I saw grenade launchers, mortar launchers. Mm-hmm. We saw at least hundreds of people purchase military-style rifles. Mm-hmm. It was heartwarming.
Sure.
So, at least in Arizona, it may be a little bit difficult to infringe on the Second Amendment. But remember, they will do everything that's humanly possible because they don't want to save lives. They want to subjugate people, like what happens in Hungary in '56, in Czechoslovakia in '68, and all around the world.
Cuba in the late '50s.
They want to take people's guns away.
Mm-hmm. We all know this.
And Now, as far as the 1911, I have a pre-World War II 38 Super in mint condition with a 22 conversion. G. Gordon Liddy, whom I used to know before he passed away, he said that the 38 Super, his uncle carried it when he was in the FBI. That was when the FBI was a good thing. And he said at that time the 38 Super was the most powerful handgun in the world in production when it was first made. When
It's a hard hitter.
I can't really shoot that gun too often because it costs a fortune. That's the problem. The ammunition is so expensive.
Yeah, well, that and that's an expensive gun. I don't know how much I'd want to shoot it.
Boy, no kidding.
To be honest with you, if you got one a pre-World War II and you brought it into my auction, it would see $5,000 plus.
Yeah,
So go easy on it.
It doesn't have. It doesn't. The only thing different is it doesn't have the original plastic grip.
Now those are replaceable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, everything else is just mint condition. The other gun my son shoots a lot is a German sports pistol, 1911 style 22.
The GSG.
Yeah, the GSG.
I love them. They're great.
I've got a couple
It
Colt
never
Aces.
jams.
They're a lot of fun.
When they work, they're good.
Yeah, it never jams. Never ever have a problem with
Excellent.
it. Now, my friend who's he's 300 guns. He lives in Washington. He wanted me to ask you this question, and the question is, he has CCW permits in like 3 states, including Washington. Now, this new Smith & Wesson 22 was a 22 round clip. He can't get it in Washington, and he was wondering, is there a way for him to buy that gun in another state, like Arizona?
No, you can. Yeah, unless you're a resident, you can't buy a firearm in another state.
That's federal law.
Yeah, that's a federal law. You have to show
that's
ID.
That's what I told him, and I said, you know what? I want to ask your question anyway, but you know, he's going to make me look like an idiot.
No,
because I knew that too.
But listen, we're coming up on a hard break on the bottom of the hour, so we do got to go. Appreciate you calling, and glad you had a good time meeting Jimmy.
Thanks, Farmer Tice. Thanks you for everything.
All
And
right.
tell Harmon I said hi.
Take care now. We'll talk to you later. Okay, this is Gunslingers right here on
KRLA.
And we ran long, so we got to go. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, guys.
This is Larry Marino on behalf of Move America Forward. Join us as we send care packages to the members of our military serving overseas for Christmas.
Today in America,
crappy it is.
Mine's like a steel colander.
No, but he was.
for me, when I was deployed, it was totally unexpected. You know, I would receive letters and care packages.
These Christmas care packages boost them around. They brighten your day. They bring smiles to faces and even tears to eyes.
Gestapo Gavin Gruesome. Yeah, that's Mr. Enigma put on his on the YouTube feed. I'm enjoying Mr. Enigma. He's good on there. Love him watching. Thanks so much. Poor Josh. Sorry, Josh. I know it's not a ton of 1911 stuff yet, but
coming up.
We're coming up. We're ramping it up. We're warming her up. Don't worry. We're going to talk a little bit about yours and mine and everything.
Got to give people a chance to have their voice heard. But because we speak fluent 1911 here.
Hey, Mad Dog.
I like the conversation earlier. Don't forget to dial 1 before 911. I like that. That was pretty clever.
Yes, yes, yes. And Mr. Enigma is a fan of the Kimber 1911.
So am I.
Yep.
Great gun. The 9mm that I shoot often is a Kimber. I think it's a Target 2. You shot it.
Yes, I did. That was a good gun.
9mm. And I am not joking. A friend of mine and I, Ross Seymour, we were out at Rahagi's one day, and I had just got it, and there was this damn fly that was buzzing around this target, and I go, and I literally hit it
off the fly.
Off the fly, yeah.
And did you do that standing still, or was it on the fly?
I was standing still, and he was too.
He's very still now with the mist.
In fact, he's still there.
Mr. Enigma just can't afford one and can't afford to give up a leg for it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, they are not cheap. But we did one of those epic guns on
1911. Had a Springfield, a Colt competition, which was such a beautiful gun.
If you're already on the YouTube channel for
The Opinions, AM 870, The Answer.
Moving forward, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world flashing all around your face, never really knowing it was always mission lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
I love this song. This is a great tune.
Great song.
It's very simple. 2 chords. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on KRLA. And we have lines open now at
866-870-5752. One more time, a little slower for everyone. 866-870-5752.
Very good. Go ahead.
We went straight to the 9mm, which is kind of an interesting use. I know there's a lot of people who turn up their nose at the idea of putting a 9mm in a 45 semi-automatic, but it makes all the sense in the world, especially when you look at the magazine capacity for some of these things. Everybody knows, I hope everybody knows, that 9mm ammunition has gotten really, really, really good and useful right now.
Yeah.
And so if I can carry 18 instead of 7+1 or 8+1, there's no such thing as too much ammunition in a firefight.
Going back to Mike's question earlier on Para-Ordnance was a Canadian company, and as we all know, you can't have guns in Canada.
Not in Canada.
In Canada
Not in Canada.
So
don't you
take
know,
off, eh?
You hooser.
Anyway,
Pitter patter.
There's a bunch of good ones out there, though. Have you had a chance to try the Springfield Prodigy?
Not yet.
I know it's not on the roster. California. I'm dying to try that one out. But that one looks really good.
I've shot the Hellcat, but
Hellcats are cool.
Yeah,
but
I
a
have
whole
not,
different.
Yeah.
But the Prodigy, the big 1911 size double stack, love it. And for those of us that don't have money for a staccato,
we had one come in. A good friend of mine who was a police officer, he just absolutely hated it. I thought he was
how do you hate it?
Completely insane. And I thought he was going to give it to me at his cost. And I thought about it. And we had a customer who was a good customer, and he had it for sale for a lot of money. And I thought, well, I could buy it off of him for here, or we could sell it for him for here. And I let it go, and I'm still kicking myself. I know. It's just I could have had a staccato for a reasonable amount, and just.
Okay, so you guys are talking 9 and 45. My first 1911 AMT hardballer, and that's in.
You had an AMT hardballer.
40.
Oh, 40.
I got it at 40.
Yeah, okay.
So that was me.
Piss everybody off.
I couldn't tell you how many 1911s and 45 I've owned, have shot, whatever. I mean, you've seen them. I've got Wilsons and
Ed Browns
and Les Bears and Cobras and you name it. I've got them or I've had them in the past, and they all shoot fantastic. It's just that I'm old now, and 45. I don't like the recoil. I'm sorry. Call me what you will, but that's just a plain fact. Now, the 1911 in 9mm or in 22, because I do have 2 versions of the Colt Ace. I've got the pre-war and the 1970s, and both of those things I love 22.
Because they're spec'd down directly from the full size. So.
Yeah, and you don't have to pick up your brass.
That's a big thing.
They're fun to shoot. It's still fairly inexpensive to shoot.
Yep.
I just love them. They're just a fantastic,
I have the Colt conversion with the recoil enhancer, the thing that's supposed to make it recoil more, which is a curious idea. But they're trying to make it more useful as a training device, right?
Right.
Enhanced.
Hey, you know what? Let's get to Patrick, because our phones are starting to blow up again. Let's get to Patrick in Burbank. Patrick, what can we do for you?
How you doing, gentlemen?
Good.
Good evening.
I just have a quick question. So I recently got out of the Marine Corps. I was in 0311. I was with 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, and I'm looking into purchasing my own firearm. I'm 21 years old, born and raised in California.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for staying.
Thanks for your service.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. My father is an ex-felon. I just want to know, like, how it works with registering a firearm. Okay, sorry.
Same house?
start.
Well, let me just really...
Yes, sir, pretty much.
If you're in the same house, you can own one, but he can't be near it. So I would probably wait till you got your own place before you did this.
Now, how does it work if I just store it in my vehicle?
Well, you can't. They want you to keep it. California has such screwed up laws. They want stuff left in the house and in a safe.
In a safe.
Yeah, and they're pushing for this. Everything must be in a safe is what they're pushing for right now. So you can't leave it in your car. I completely understand why you would want one, and I completely understand it's not you. But I've had friends whose sons ended up becoming a felon by hook or by crook, no pun intended, and they had to end up selling because the son had to stay with them due to parole issues and so on, and they had to end up selling their collections because of this. So if you can, I would wait until you can...
have your own address.
Yeah, have your own address.
And that's very unfortunate. Now, is that only in California, or is that nationwide?
That is pretty close to nationwide. California is a little stickier than everywhere else, but that is really a federal deal.
Yeah, because a felony, most of the time, they're not allowed
to disqualifier.
To even be near the firearms. They can't even be in a lot of the gun shops.
If you said he was a felon, is he still a felon?
No, he's been out for 20 years plus.
But he still has the felony record, correct?
No expungement.
Okay, so what you need to do, call somebody like Chuck Michelle of Michelle and Associates. He is the president of the CRPA. Call his office and see if you can get his record expunged or brought down to a misdemeanor, and you're home free.
Very well, gentlemen.
Okey-doke.
One more quick question.
Go ahead.
And I'm sure there's no loopholes around this, right? So I can't register it to my girlfriend's house or one of my buddy's house.
That's called a straw sale, and that is uber illegal.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
well,
I know.
This is why I ask,
I appreciate it. And that's why we're here, to answer your question.
Than sorry.
Yeah, you don't do that. That is big-time trouble, and that is federal. That is not just California. And you don't definitely, California's bad enough. You definitely don't want the feds breathing down your neck. Okie doke.
That makes sense. Well, you gentlemen have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate your time.
You bet. Thank you. Take care.
Hope to hear from you again.
Okay, real quick, let's jump to Jerry in L.A. who's got an interesting question. Jerry, what can we do for you?
Yeah, hi, guys. A great show. First-time caller.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask you a legal question.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a CCW in Los Angeles County. I've had it for over 2 years now.
Good on you.
Renewed in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I carry every day with me.
Mm-hmm.
I drive in L.A. quite a bit professionally, and seeing what I saw in 2020, I'm thinking about carrying my PC carbine. It's a breakdown Ruger rifle that I could put in a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I had it key locked, trigger locked, and in my front seat, if I could carry that. If I was stopped, would that put me in trouble? I have the same Glock magazine in my waistband for my carry gun, which the Ruger does take. Would that be an issue, having the ammo so close to it, even though it's broken down and has a trigger lock?
That's a good question. I thought it was going to be something a little different. I thought you were going to actually ask if you could carry it like under a jacket or something. I would have to say...
Broken down
and no ammo, no magazine in it and such. I don't see how it could be illegal, and I completely understand, because you remember back, what was it, a month ago, they were saying that the jihadis were going to go crazy, and I'll tell you what, I threw a few things in the back seat of my truck because, again, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So this is not legal advice, but I don't necessarily see a problem with it.
No, that's.
I tell you what, I will do. We'll get Bill Murphy on again here real soon.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, and Bill runs ATI over at the Rahagi shooting range over in Norco, and he they do their own CCW class and stuff, and we'll get him on, and I will ask him that question.
Yeah, I just had a thought of somebody from the Middle East driving a semi truck while I'm on the freeway, and all of a sudden it jackknifes and about 10 guys with AKs jump out. They would have a field day.
Yeah.
On a stop freeway on the 10, the 405. It would be a lot of effort for me to get the gun out, but I could grab the backpack right out the back of my car, put it together, put a clip in it, at least have something a little more powerful than a handgun to fight back.
Yeah, what you're talking about is basically what happened on the Gaza Strip here. So Jerry, I agree with you 1,000%, but the legalities of that I really don't know.
That's a real gray area.
Yeah. So again, we'll get Mr. Murphy on. Go ahead.
It's not on my car now, and it won't be until something like that happens. Hopefully, it won't be me as being the first one killed. But if I ever see that happen on a LA freeway, it's definitely going in my car.
I get it, and I agree with you. Jerry, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate the show.
Thank you. Take care.
I used to think it was just a great backpacker, like just in case you were out there in the wilderness and all, something quick and easy to put together, fits in the backpack. But
given where we're at,
but in the back seater, that's a real pleasant tool to have when stuff hits.
And it's a real force multiplier too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have a pile of phone calls, and we got one segment left. Let's real quick.
As many as we can.
Let's jump to Sean and Covina. Sean, what can we do for you?
Oh, yes, I like to agree with you. 9mm is a nice, smooth shooter. And I also like to talk about, this brings me back to fond memories of federal ordnance. Let's go back to all the 1911s or types in foreign service. Like the Norwegian 11.25 millimeter.
Yep.
And not to mention the random 9mm that was the third most used pistol in the Third Reich.
The Radom.
Yeah, the Radom. Thank you, Mark. And not to mention how it affected Spain's pistols, also unfortunately providing to the Third Reich, and Argentina providing to the British, which was good. And I had friends in the Philippines and Thailand who loved that gun till this day. So that's
biggest firearms factory in the world is in the Philippines.
Love it.
Yeah, and to backtrack on what you were saying, Fed Ord, for those that don't know, was the coolest gun
times,
shop
man.
ever.
70s, 80s.
Oh man, they were over in El Monte, right next to the military museum. It was an old military
Warehouse,
hangar.
yeah.
And it was like Disneyland for guns.
It was Bannerman's from back in the day. Lord knows where they got this stuff.
Man.
But you could buy things out of the barrel.
Yeah, and they morphed from that into Fed Ord and then into Brickley's, and that place was just unbelievable. I
Rest
missed,
in peace, both of those.
Yeah, I missed going there, and Mr. Brenner was a real cool guy. He was the owner. Anyway, Sean, we're coming up on a hard break. We got to go. As always, thanks for the call.
One suggestion, if we can
go ahead.
Fond memories of Fed ordnance for one subject one time. I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Take care.
That'd be fun.
Do a little history of her.
Okay, we've got a pile of phone calls. We only got one segment left. We'll get to you. I swear.
We're here next week, too. Don't forget.
As soon as we get back, we'll get to phone calls. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on KRLA. And we'll be right back.
Joy drifting through my opened mind, possessing and caressing me.
Hey, Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions in Azusa and the City of Orange. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in every
long-haired, freaky people.
Most of them were 5'2" or less.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bigger than that, but I still hang out in trees.
So what you're saying is he's no overfed, long-haired, leaping gnome.
But much like them, I do hang out in trees with yo-yos and machetes. So you better watch yourself. I got my ties on.
Oh boy, he's a Moro.
He's a bolo.
He's a bolo. Where's that camera going? We're trying to show off over there.
You know, the guy that put that is it Bolo or Moro? I thought they were the Moros.
The Moro.
Everybody say it again. GunslingerAuctions.com. gun to your head. I got a light on you, babe. You know, I did this song more times than this band ever did.
They did.
Yeah. Oh man, I can tell you I was the high harmony in this whole song. Oh.
You know what? That's probably that may be true. You did that song more.
Easily. Spirit wasn't around that long. Let's see. Who can we pick on next? Let's get to Bob in Redondo Beach. Bob, what can we do for you? Oh, Bob.
Bob Dondo.
I tuned in earlier, and you hit a memory for me with Jimmy Fiddler's All the Ships at Sea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 93 years old, and we used to hear it on the radio at night. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good evening, America, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, and all the ships at sea.
Yeah.
Is that Walter Winchell?
I think
But
it was
anyway, I've got a couple of Brownings, a 22 takedown that has no serial number.
Common.
And I understand that they did not serialize between 1911 and 1950-something.
Well, they actually didn't serialize from the beginning of time up until 1968.
They have the firearms.
Yeah, long guns do not have to have a serial number unless it's manufactured after 1968, when the Gun Control Act of 1968 came along.
And there's a lot of guns manufactured.
Pardon?
There's no way to determine how old it might be then.
Pre-serial number, very difficult.
Yeah, well,
model stock, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that particular firearm, very often that serial number is there. It's just hidden in the oddest places. Sometimes it's under the foregrip, on the bottom of the barrel. Sometimes it's literally on the breech face. They hide them in the strangest places on those particular guns. Never understood why, and I've never really heard a reason. But sometimes you can find them on there.
No rhyme or reason.
Yeah. Okay.
In 1949, I bought a Sweet 16 Browning with cut compensators on it.
Oh, yeah.
Any idea how much that might be worth today?
I'd have to see it, because that's kind of like saying I got a black car. What'll you give me for it? But if it's in really good shape, believe it or not, the cuts compensator or muffler, as we like to call them these days, they don't hurt the value that much. There is a resurgence of the Auto 5, A5, Auto 5, whatever, and especially the Sweet 16. If it actually says Sweet 16 on it, the last one that we had, that it was in excellent condition, and it sold somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that's like the one gun it looks good on. The compensator looks right.
Yeah.
It's very Art Deco or steampunk.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Okay.
Where
did you come up with? Where did you come up with Jimmy Fiddler's line?
Well, you know,
You're not that old.
I've said this story many times. No, I'm not, but my dad was, and that was one of the things my pop used to say all the time. Of course, he usually had a drink in his hand when he did it, but it had just come out of nowhere. That and that's for sure, that's for dang sure, which is from an old movie. I can't think. It's a movie about the Marines. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But he had a couple of things that he would always say, and hello, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. He would say that all the time.
Battleground, 1949.
There you go. So those are just some of the stuff, just a little tip of the hat to my pop.
Good to hear it again.
Thank you, sir. And
Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for calling and
93,
listening.
thanks for the call.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, let's get to our friend Brent in L.A. Brent, how are you?
Christmas and Hanukkah greetings, California's gunslingers.
Hello, my brother.
You know, I was thinking, if women are worried about the difficulty of using guns, just tell them about the 4 Israeli 20-year-old IDF girls who made military history when they snuffed dozens of the devil's Hamas gangsters coming from Gaza with a Merkava tank and an armored personnel carrier.
The tankers, yep. I read that.
They weren't even trained on these. They weren't really
They
ready
figured it out under fire.
Yes.
Awesome.
And, it was after 17 hours of combat. They were asked if they were scared, and they said they just didn't have time to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
They had too many people and families to save, and they saved hundreds of people. And, I think it'll be a hell of a movie for Clint Eastwood to produce.
Ooh, look at that.
I'd go see
Speaking
it.
of 93, but
The last movie I saw was Forrest Gump, so go.
Classic, though.
They made another one since then, just so you know.
Really?
It had superheroes.
I was going to say, that's all. I'm not a superhero kind of guy, so I don't go to the movies anymore. Well, Brent, I would go see that.
it was just astounding, and they were just talking with these girls, and they're just so normal.
They looked like sophomores in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw their picture on Facebook.
I
yeah.
mean, just imagine 4 American girls in that situation.
Yeah.
If I get to pick the 4 girls, it works. But
yeah, but on the norm.
But on the norm,
they'd be way too busy looking at their phones and taking selfies to realize what was going on.
Can you believe what's happening?
running their TikTok.
What do they want now?
So loud.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, you have a favorite 1911?
Could you see him coming out of the tank with a phone in hand? Hey, smile!
I'm live streaming
Under
this.
fire. Yeah. Woohoo! Anyway, go ahead, Brett.
We jest.
No, that was basically all I wanted to say.
That's a good shout.
And it's this thing that women have a hesitancy that they can't use it. A gun is a very simple thing to use. To get really proficient isn't so easy. But, you point and you shoot, and you just don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to kill somebody.
The original point and click.
Yeah.
Repeat if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, if you want to save your family and you want to save your neighbors, you better have it.
Well, yeah, and if you want your family saved, you better be doing it because ain't nobody coming for you.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the Attorney General and our district attorney who has a catch and release policy.
Yeah, and again, it's already been said tonight, but when, seconds count, police are only 20 minutes away.
And you're saying, why does Gavin want to make it so difficult to buy ammunition and guns and everything else? Well, clearly, the guy just wants to slaughter Grandma.
Fights the narrative, man.
Yeah. He wants us to be subjects and not citizens. That's it. That's it. I mean, it's very simple if you open your eyes and take a look. Anyway, Brent, we still got a couple of calls to try and get before we get out of here, and we're almost out of here.
Get him. We can do it.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Brent. Take care. Okay, let's jump over to Sean in L.A. Sean, what can we do for you?
Hey, good evening, guys. Happy Christmas and happy Hanukkah.
Thanks, Merry
Christmas. The story you were talking about, the Israeli girls, off the subject, but they drove that tank and they killed over 50 tangos or terrorists.
Wow.
So it's the only Israeli or Israel's the only country in the world that has women who can drive tanks.
Yeah.
Man tanks, yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. But anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, what is I've done years, but now on my new Springfield, 1911, it has the bushing. It's a guide rod. And what is the safe way to disassemble that? Because,
so the guide rod, yeesh.
Yeah.
Which one? Because there are several different kinds.
Yeah, it's Springfield 1901 A1.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like the mil spec. First thing, mag out, make sure gun is unloaded, and the best thing you can buy, and they are cheap. You can get them at gun shows for $5 to $10. Is that bushing wrench? It pushes down over, and you can spin that bushing. It is so easy to
like $5.
Yeah,
there's a new product out there that is like a dial. Have you seen this thing? It fits over the muzzle and it pushes. That's even slicker.
We have them at the Azusa store. Yeah, and they're very simple to use, and the gun will come apart very easily. The only thing you want to be careful about is idiot marks. That's what the slide release. Yeah,
when you're putting the slide release,
people
back
always scratch up their gun, and that's why they're called idiot marks. So just be careful with that. But go get yourself a good bushing wrench, and it's a piece of cake to take it apart.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And Jeff, I want to ask you a quick question on musical side. What's the deal with Hall & Oates?
Oh man, that's a bummer. They're
at each other's throats. They got like a restraining orders and stuff.
Oh, that's
they've gone nuts.
Well,
too much, when I remember
too much mustache wax.
Oh, get to your head.
I remember the story when Fleetwood Mac was at the height of their wealth and fame. They'd have 5 limousines as soon as the concert was over, 5 different directions.
People don't understand the pressure of being a musician and having to go out and perform, and the road will make you crazy. Drugs make you crazy.
Right there.
Booze make you crazy.
Right there.
Everything makes you crazy. I've lived the life. Mark still lives the life. I wouldn't go back on a bet. It's a nightmare. It's not nearly what you think it is, and it makes you absolutely crazy. And that's why you see so many people dying young, or
The 27 curse.
yeah,
right?
the 27 curse.
It's not meant for almost anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the story. Anyway, Sean, thanks.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you,
take
sir.
care. Okay, quickly, let's get to Andy in Burbank. Andy, what can we do for you?
Hey, this is Andy. I'm a first-time listener here, friend of Mark's, and you guys are fielding a lot of calls about transporting your firearms, and I know that Mark is a motorcycle rider like myself. One thing I've never gotten a straight answer on is transporting your gun while riding a motorcycle.
Well, he rides one, so we'll let him answer it.
Do you have any kind of case or container on your vehicle?
2 minutes. So
on motorcycle?
Yeah. Saddlebag,
let's
top box,
let's
back
say
box?
For sake of argument, that no.
For the sake of argument, no, you don't. Then you can put it unloaded and separate from magazine or ammunition. You can carry it in a backpack. I think fanny packs are not okay, but backpacks I know are. But it's got to be in a locked container inside that backpack.
Interesting.
And separate from the ammunition.
Yeah. So put that in your shoe, I guess.
Get a front pack and a backpack. You might be fine.
Yeah, put it in your helmet, and you'll be good to go.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
That's a good one. That's a good question, Eddie.
Phew, we made it. We need a third hour. Hey, I want to thank everybody for the phone calls. Keep it up. Do it again next week.
Absolutely.
You've been listening to the Gunslingers right here on
KRLA.
And where's the old music on the wall?
Hey, what are we
There
doing
she
next
is.
week at 7 o'clock?
Next week, we'll be here.
Oh, we'll
But,
be here.
Yeah, I don't know
Sliding
how
under the wire.
energetic we're going to be, but next week is our auction. Go to
boy.
gunslingerauctions.com. Check out the huge gun auction we got going. Starts next Sunday, 11 a.m. We'll go till we're done, and then we'll haul ass over here.
We'll be right here, folks.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for everybody on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. We'll see you guys next
All
week.
over.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
See you guys. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Trails to you till we meet again.